I just found the next stock which I think is extremely undervalued and has the potential to literally explode. But with high reward comes high risk, so let's get into the details. The stock I'm talking about is Luminar Technologies with a stock ticker LAZR. The company makes LiDAR sensors. LiDAR, which stands for light detection and ranging, sends out laser light which is then reflected from the objects back to the sensor. The system then uses time of flight of the reflected light to develop a distance map of the objects and surroundings. This technology is useful in tons of different industries, from military and defense to agriculture, but the company we'll look at today focuses on autonomous vehicles. Why? Because of 1.2 million annual fatalities from vehicle collisions globally. So the global mobility sector is increasingly focused on safety and autonomy, but instead of trying to go straight to robotaxis, this company has taken the approach of building technology to first enhance rather than replace the driver in the vehicle. LiDAR is useful for level 2 autonomy, which means partial driving automation, and it's necessary for level 3 autonomy and beyond. So from conditional driving automation to full driving automation. Now this is where the opportunity lies for this company, with the total addressable market projected to grow to more than $150 billion in 2030. Now more about the company itself and its actual product and business plan. It was founded in 2012 and now it has over 800 full-time employees. It has 208 awarded patents and the first and only LiDAR technology made standard on a global production vehicle. But it doesn't just make sensors. It also makes semiconductors and software for their systems. That includes still in development perception and decision-making software, as well as high-definition 3D mapping that will make them more and more money as time goes on. They've made product decisions to meet the needs of highway speed autonomy and maximum safety, which is why they had to develop custom components from the chip level up, eventually developing LiDAR with 1550 nanometers wavelength, which is honestly way more advanced than their peers who developed LiDAR with lower wavelength. Their LiDAR won't cause eye damage, it has better range, resolution, and is more robust across various solar and weather conditions. Their technology roadmap to mass adoption began in 2017 with a Model G series built for proof of concept. In 2019 they made Hydra built for test and development. In 2022 they've made the Iris built for series production, and in 2026 they expect to make Halo built for scale and mass adoption. With their products they've been able to get some quite well-known partners like Nvidia, Mobileye and Qualcomm, and major car companies as customers. Their most recent Iris system is going to be on an electric Volvo EX90. Mercedes-Benz plans to integrate the next generation of Iris LiDAR, and Polestar is going to integrate Luminar's technology on the Polestar 3, 4 and 5. All these partnerships made their product the only industrialized LiDAR launched and standardized on a global production vehicle. On top of that, the stock is close to its all-time lows, with the company's market cap being just around $500 million, which is even lower than its enterprise value. All these partnerships, huge addressable market, highly developed product way ahead of its competition, and a very low share price make this stock very appealing. But like always, there are some negatives to consider. Firstly, device crosstalk signals from nearby LiDAR devices might cause signal interference, with the solution to this problem still being under development. And the second problem with the technology is that these systems are more expensive than other sensors like cameras and radar. They also use more resources to process 3D data than cameras processing 2D data. Aside from the technology itself, the company also has some problems to consider. As you might expect, they are not yet profitable and they are burning through their cash reserves, which is why they laid off approximately 30% of their general administrative and back office workforce among other non-technical roles, resulting in an additional $80 million in cash savings annually on a run rate basis. Having that said, they're projecting to have $240 million liquidity at the end of 2024, which will last them until the end of 2026, so they have at least 2 years before they go bankrupt if they don't get any additional funding. Their latest expectation to achieve positive sensor economics and gross margin is at some point next year, after they ramp up series production with Volvo, and they need an additional $100 million in capital to get to profitability. Now with the share price falling below $1, there is also a chance of making a reverse stock split split to comply with Nasdaq listing requirements. And a reverse stock split is usually a death sentence for the stock. Not always, but usually. Luckily though, the stock has to firstly trade below $1 for 30 consecutive trading days to risk being delisted from the Nasdaq. Additionally, when it falls below $1, the Nasdaq gives the company 180 days to regain compliance by trading close at or above $1 for at least 10 consecutive trading days. So to sum it up, the technology has immense potential, the company has just a few competitors but none of them are on the same level. On top of that, they have major customers and partners. The total addressable market in just a few years is going to be huge. The company is currently trading at extremely low levels, which makes it a very good entry point. They have enough cash until the end of 2026 and they need an additional $100 million to get to profitability. For comparison, all these facts make it a lot less risky than ASTS when I first bought it. My only concern about this stock is the reverse stock split, which won't be necessary if the stock rises above $1. Now, if we assume that the company will capture just 2.5% of the total addressable market in 2030, that's almost $4 billion of revenue. And if the company is valued at a very conservative 2.5 price to sales ratio, its stock would have a market cap of about $9 billion, meaning that the stock would trade at about $18 a share. But that's only the case if the company makes it till 2030 and becomes profitable. Having that said, I took the risk and bought 4,094 shares at an average buying price of 89 cents, as I plan on holding it for a couple of years or until the stock price gets to about $10, when I'll probably take some profits. To buy this stock, I deposited 400 euros and sold my whole stake in Canadian Solar, and I did that just a day before Canadian Solar went up by like 9%. I still believe Canadian Solar is undervalued and is a great trade, especially a month before the elections. My initial plan was to hold Canadian Solar for a couple of years, but after I spotted Luminar Technologies, I wanted to hold Canadian Solar until the end of October and then right before the elections switch to Luminar Technologies, as I wanted to profit on the potential clean energy rally towards the elections. Sadly, I was a bit too impatient and might have jumped the ship too early, but only time will tell. Anyway, I sold Canadian Solar for a total profit of $165.29. Now let's quickly cover ASTS. Since my last video, ASTS successfully launched their 5 satellites and the warrants expired on September the 27th, which should reduce the selling pressure. Overall, my plan hasn't changed, as I intend to hold this stock for a very long time, hopefully until we get dividends. Now my last large position, Intel. On September the 10th, I deposited an additional 1,000 euros and bought more of Intel stock, bringing my total position to about 217 shares at an average buying price of $20.34. Since then, the stock has been successfully rallying due to various news. My plan is to hold this stock until it at least doubles my position, and then I'll decide whether I want to continue holding for the long term or take profits. If you want to see more of my content, click on the video just popped up. If you like my content, subscribe, and thanks for watching.